In this class, you are going to learn error analysis 3. If you observe the slide number 1, here you see the topic name error analysis 3. In my previous classes, so why do students commit mistakes? Based on that, I told two reasons. The first one is influence of mother tongue, and every language has got its own peculiarities. That is the reason why students commit mistakes in their communication as well as in their write-ups. It is related to error analysis 1. In error analysis 2, what we have discussed was, so most of the students commit mistakes in using parts of speech. They commit some mistakes in adjectives and adverbs, prepositions, and conjunctions. So based on that also you had good practice on it. Next, let us have a glance over the slide number 2. This is related to today's topic. So then have a glance over the introduction. In the previous lesson, you learnt to identify the errors in parts of speech and correct them. The focus of this lesson is on how to correct wrong usage of vocabulary, questions, and redundancy. These errors are grouped into separately based on the nature of the errors. Usage of inappropriate vocabulary leads to misunderstanding and may not convey the idea which you wanted to. It is important for you to learn why these sentences are not acceptable in English. So up to here what we have discussed is, and whenever you use some sentences, in that sentences you should use suitable vocabulary, then only it gives proper sense. So suppose if you don't use suitable vocabulary in your sentences, and a listener cannot understand what you want to tell him. Okay, so wrong usage of vocabulary leads to misunderstanding by others. For that reason, we have to learn using correct vocabulary in sentences. The second important thing is, most of the students commit mistakes in using interrogative sentences. How? Let us have a glance on different slide numbers. In that you can come across all those things. Then have a glance over the slide number 3. Here 4 examples are given. If you observe the first example, where your father is working now. Okay, so oral reading, it seems to be correct, but there is an error in it. Where your father is working now, it is given. So WH words always takes B form after it. Okay, for that we have to use where immediately is your father working now? Question mark. So this is the correct sentence. If you observe the second one, when did Kishore went to Chennai? When did Kishore went to Chennai? So this is interrogative sentence of past. Whenever you use did in interrogative form, base form of the verb should be used. So here went is wrong. So base form of went, it is go. For that you have to write like this. When did Kishore go to Chennai? Question mark. Next, third one. Does Rakesh drives a car? This is also wrong. With third person singulars, we use s or es with a verb. Okay. So whenever these third persons are used in interrogative forms, this verb never takes any s or es after it. For that reason, does Rakesh drive a car? Question mark. Next, fourth one. Did Ashwini sang songs yesterday? So here also it is simple past interrogative sentence. So already I told you in above example, in example 2, so once again I am repeating in example 4 also. Did Ashwini sang songs yesterday? Sang is wrong here. So whenever did we use in interrogative forms, the base form should be written. What is the base form of sang? Sing. For that reason we should write it as did Ashwini sing songs yesterday? Next, then have a glance over the slide number 4. Here also few examples. Okay. The first one is Saraswati will not go Jaipur tomorrow, won't she? So this is related to tags, means question tag. So already you would have learned this in your SSC level, but wherever you learn, when this type of sentences you come across, you will be in dilemma how it should be written. So for such sentences, we should have a glance on the statement first. Okay, Saraswati will not go Jaipur tomorrow. This statement is in negative form, so the tag is won't she. It is also in negative form at the end question mark. So for that reason it is wrong. So whenever the statement is negative, the tag should be positive. Okay. For that, Saraswati will not go Jaipur tomorrow. Will she? Question mark. Okay. Next, then have a glance over the second example. She is clever. Is she? She is clever. Is she? Question mark. So here statement is positive and tag is positive. For that reason it is wrong. Whenever the statement is positive, tag should be negative. For that reason, she is clever, isn't she? Question mark. Then have a glance over the slide number 5. Here also few examples are given. The first example is I am a doctor, amn't I? So this is wrong. Oral reading, it looks to be correct, but in grammatical point of view it is wrong. We have got two Englishes, one is American English and another one is British English. As we are the Indians, we always follow British English, and for that reason I am a doctor, amn't I is wrong. So in British English, aren't I should be used. For that reason, I am a doctor, aren't I? Question mark. Okay. Next, if you observe the second example, Prakash sings songs well, isn't he? Prakash sings songs well, isn't he? Question mark. This is also wrong. Okay. The sentence is in simple present tense. The sentence is in simple present tense. Okay. Whenever you see sentences in simple present tense, you should use either do or does. Okay. So for that reason, Prakash sings songs well. Okay. Isn't he? That's wrong. For that you have to write doesn't he. Okay. If the statement is what positive, tag should be negative. Okay. Next. Then have a glance over the example 3. Robert bought fruits yesterday, doesn't he? Robert bought fruits yesterday. This is related to simple past tense. Okay. For simple past, we have to use did. For present, we use either do or does. For simple past, we have to use only did. For that reason, you have to observe the statement Robert bought fruits yesterday, didn't he? Okay, as the sentence is in simple past, we have to use didn't he. As the statement is positive, the tag should be negative. Okay, based on that, didn't he should be written. Okay, so next, then have a glance over the slide number 6. Here also few more examples are given. Okay, example number 1. Please kindly help me. Please kindly help me, because this is wrong. And what is the correct structure of it? Please help me or kindly help me. But you should not use please kindly in one sentence help me. Okay, you should use either one of these two, please help me or kindly help me. Both are accepted. Whichever you write, that is correct. Okay, next, then have a glance over second example. Anand returns back after half an hour. This is wrong. Returns and back, these two words expresses the same meaning. Okay, these two words carries the same meaning. For that reason only you are permitted to use only one. For that, Anand returns after half an hour. Okay, next, then have a glance over the example 3. I requested the librarian to refund back my deposit. This is also wrong. I requested the librarian to refund my deposit. Refund is give back. Refund itself give the sense of give back. So additionally, you are not supposed to use back after refund. Okay, for that reason, I requested the librarian to refund my deposit. Okay. Next, then have a glance over the slide number 7. Here also two examples are given. The first one is it was a blunder mistake. It was a blunder mistakes. Here also wrong usage of vocabulary. Okay, blunder and mistakes, these two words give the same sense, and you will be permitted to use any one of these two, but you are not supposed to use these two words in one sentence. Okay, so based on that, the first one is it was a mistake, or it was a blunder. If you write either first one or second one, both are accepted, but you should not use blunder and mistake one after the another in sentence. Okay. Next, then have a glance over the second example. In case if you go early, you will get tickets. In case, and if, these two give the same sense. Okay. For that reason, we should not use in case and if one after the another one. For that reason, and if gives the correct sense. For that reason, we have to use if you go early, you will get ticket. Next one is, then have a glance over the slide number 8. Here also few examples are given. So based on that, if you have a glance over the first example, what is your PIN number? So especially these diploma students allotted pins. Okay, pins. So what is your PIN number? This is wrong. PIN number means postal index number. So it should not be used. So you should simply say, what is your PIN? Means person's identification number. Okay. N itself gives the number. You should not add one more, okay, number after PIN. For that reason, the above one is wrong. So what is your PIN? What is your PIN? Question mark. That's enough. Next, then have a glance over the example number 2. He awaited for the bus at Krishna Palace. This is wrong. Awaited is a specific verb. It never accepts take any preposition after it. For that reason, we should write, he awaited the bus at Krishna Palace. Next, or he waited for the bus at Krishna Palace. Wait takes for preposition after it, and for that reason you can write it as he waited for the bus at Krishna Palace. In writing answers, you can write either first one or second one. Okay, both are correct, but awaited never takes any preposition after it, and waited takes definitely for preposition after it. Then have a glance over the third example. Okay, third one, my father bought a car yesterday. Wrong usage of vocabulary here, means V3. What is the third form of bought? Buy, 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 bought. Okay, so my father bought a car yesterday. This is related to simple past tense. Okay, what is the structure of simple past? Subject, V2 and object. Okay, so based on that, my father bought, BOUGHT, a car yesterday. So for that reason, you should be very perfect using suitable vocabulary. Okay, for that reason, okay, you should have some practice on these slides. Okay, and whatever the sentences those I didn't cover in these slides, the remaining will be in your textbooks, and have some practice on them. Then you will get some practice out of it. You will get some perfection. With this perfection only, you can write correction of sentence perfectly. In your examination, definitely you are going to see 10 marks what the question. Okay, so it will be given in three modes. Okay, sometimes what happens, a paragraph is given in the definitely 10 errors will be there, and they will be given in italics, and sometimes they will be given and underlined, and sometimes simply a paragraph is given and you have to read and you have to find the errors, and three modes will be there. Okay, next sometimes totally 10 sentences of different what context will be given. Okay, in every sentence either you will find italic words or underlined word or underlined part of the sentence, and based on that you have to write the correct answers. But however the question will be asked, if you have got some practice only, then you can get some perfection. With that perfection only you can do this bit perfectly. Okay, in this only you can get cent percent of marks out of 10, and 10 will be given to you if you write the correct answers, and if for other things, and you may be cut off either half mark or 1 mark, but here only the chance for you to get cent percent of marks, 10 to 10 you will get it. Okay, what I hope all you will have some practice on these activities, those are in your textbooks, and get good perfection and be ready to take your examination perfectly, and hope that you secure good marks. Okay, bye all of you, see you next.